Hi, I'm Dr. Maxine Bryant, your virtual professor. Now, the purpose of the virtual professor movement or class, if you will, is to inform my audience about issues around criminal justice, social justice. We're going to highlight contemporary issues in our country, and we want to take a look specifically at systematic injustices, inequalities, disparities. So you may be asking, well, who is this person? Well, I'm Dr. Maxine Bryant, and I have been in love with the criminal justice system, curious about the criminal justice system for years. I knew when I was 18 years old, a senior in high school, that I wanted to pursue a career in corrections or criminal justice. Didn't know quite what, but I knew I wanted to work with incarcerated persons. So I pursued a bachelor's degree in criminal justice and corrections. I enjoyed that, didn't get into the field right away, but eventually went on to pursue a master's degree in criminal justice administration from Saginaw Valley State University. After that, I opened up a federal halfway house for nonviolent offenders in Michigan. And there I learned the ins and outs of incarceration on a federal level. I reported to the Bureau of Prisons, that's the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and was connected to federal prisons throughout the United States of America, particularly in the region around Michigan. After doing that, I relocated to Indianapolis, Indiana, to care for my ailing parents, and during that time secured employment as a offender reentry type of counselor, and I help people reentering into the community from the Marion County Jail to get acclimated with employment, housing, clothes, other needs that they had. And at some point, I began to have the yearning to pursue a PhD in criminal justice. And so in 2007, I began that journey and graduated with a PhD in criminal justice and criminology in 2013. Since then, I've become a professor at I became a professor at Armstrong State University here in Savannah, Georgia, where I relocated in 2011. That journey in the whole criminal justice system has been amazing. Along the way, I've contracted with local government, city government through the Weed and Seed program in Indianapolis, Indiana, where the whole goal was to weed out crime and poverty and sow in, if you will, more positive things to help people returning back to the community to have an easier transition from prison to community. I also had a contract with the federal government, and I became the reentry coordinator for the 5th District of the United States court system, and I worked closely with the Attorney General in the U.S. Attorney General in Indiana. When I relocated to Savannah, one of the contracts that I had while teaching criminal justice at Armstrong State University was with the End Gun Violence Initiative, which is a gun and gang violence reduction initiative modeled after David Kennedy's ceasefire model. Again, my love for criminal justice, my knowledge about criminal justice lended heavily to getting that program off the ground. So you see, I've been very involved with corrections and in the criminal justice system in general, corrections in specific. So that's a little bit about me and why I feel quite capable of facilitating discussions and classes around social justice, criminal justice, and particularly inequalities in our system. Now, why the virtual professor? I know that students that I teach at Armstrong are gaining significant knowledge that they don't get in high school or even from some of their other professors. Unfortunately, I am the only full-time African-American professor in the criminal justice system criminal justice department at my school, right? So that means I bring a different perspective than my colleagues, and that perspective is proven to be very helpful to my students. Not too long ago, I began preparing for a class that I'm teaching now, and it's called Inequalities, crime, and justice. And I posted on Facebook some of the facts around particularly immigration that are contrary to what the current presidential administration is saying. So, for example, I posted that immigrants do not pose the type of threat at the south border that we're being led to believe. The drugs do not enter our country primarily through the south border. And that once in our country, of all of the populations in our country, immigrants are the least likely to cause trouble with the law because they don't want to get deported, right? So I posted that kind of information. The response was overwhelming. People began to ask, could they take the class? Am I going to live stream the class? What kind of information can I share in addition to what I shared? And I began thinking about it, and I thought, wow, this information is commonplace in my classroom, but so many lay people in our country are not aware of the true facts around social justice, criminal justice, immigration, inequalities that go on in our system. We don't know the details. And I believe that informed citizens can make a major difference in the direction of our country. So I came up with the idea of the virtual professor. That way, my classroom is enlarged. You get the benefit of learning about the intricacies of our criminal and social justice systems in the United States of America. Now, how this is going to work is that I will have about 4 to 5 class sessions, if you will, and you'll be able to tune in on my YouTube channel at your leisure. Sometimes we'll have PowerPoint discussions, we'll have lecture. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions, not while I'm live, but you can definitely email me or post questions under the video that you see. Periodically, I may invite a speaker to come and join with me. At any rate, you're going to have the benefit. Now, the first 3 sessions are a trial and are free to you. After that, if you want to enroll in any of the classes, and we will promote the classes so you'll get an opportunity to see which class you really want to take, they will have a nominal fee attached to it. Now, each session is only going to be about 15 minutes in length, and we'll do as many of those sessions as we need to completely exhaust a topic. I'm thinking, though, on the average, it will be 4 to 6 weeks of session time, 15-minute session time. So you can reach me, or you can reach the website at www.DrMaxineBryant, Dr. Maxine Bryant, all one word, www.DrMaxineBryant.com. You can also feel free to email me at dr.MaxineBryant@gmail.com. dr.MaxineBryant@gmail.com. I look forward to sharing the next few sessions with you. First actual session is going to be an overview of the criminal justice system, particularly for you all who are not familiar with the components of the system and how they're supposed to interrelate and how they really don't. The next session is going to cover more of how did we get here to this place that we are in our country with so many disparities in so many systems, but particularly the criminal justice system and how that plays out for us as citizens of the United States. I look forward to sharing a wealth of information with you, and I hope that you will look forward to joining me. Take care. Have a good one.